the Assemblies of God's presence making a difference in America, this great nation, has been going on for 75 years. Everywhere hurting people are, we've had missionaries reaching out, reaching those who are hurting, those that are lost, unique people group, special needs group. We are there. Over 75 years of impact ministry, setting the captives free and letting the light of the gospel shine brightly on those in darkness.
When you look at the history of U.S. missions and you realize how far it's come in these 75 years, we're not going to measure ourselves by our effectiveness in the past. We have to measure ourselves by the unfinished task.
The mission field is right here in the United States. There are people that we live around all day long. We know their language, we know their culture, we know their traditions. Every single one of us, we are plan A for this world. There is no plan B.
This is a missions field right here. These young ladies need to get off of their drugs and off of their habits that they have. You don't have to go overseas to do missions. It means a lot to them to see us working around and doing things for them and not expecting anything in return.
It's about connecting your local church to your local schools.
It's the one chance that we have to absolutely get a hold of every future president, every future teacher. We just want to be able to reach them with the gospel and reach them with the love of Jesus.
I was born in West Virginia. My father was a coal miner. I was the furthest thing from a religious guy. Long story short, I ended up joining the Air Force, and I was trying to meet girls. And I thought to myself, well, why don't you try a church? And he gave a call, and I fell on my knees, and I gave my life to Christ. Now I've been a chaplain 35 years. My heart just wouldn't be at peace if I weren't out there telling people about the Lord. This is America. We can do that sort of thing.
I was blessed to be a part of U.S. missions. Appointing missionaries was a very enjoyable job and responsibility.
This is what's always been so attractive to me about U.S. missions, is that there's these people that are willing to go and do what God has placed on their heart. And then meeting a brother Charles Hackett when he was the U.S. missions director when I was in college. He's talking to me about how we're going to send missionaries wherever God calls them. Maybe it's going to completely change in the next 75 years, and we're going to see people that are going to have a reckless abandonment. They're just going to go out and they're going to reach people.
I really felt God calling me to home missions, specifically to Alaska. So I went over to the home missions department at that time and said, I want to go to Alaska as a missionary. And they gave me an application, said, fill it out, come back and see us. About a month later, I went back and he said, congratulations, you're a missionary. And I said, wonderful. What do I do now? Thank God for 75 years.
In 1954, we were appointed to be missionaries to the Native Americans, and we've been at it for 58 years now.
And we had some pretty slim things going on. One time we were just about out of food. We had some macaroni and different things like that left. And Jack said he was getting tired of that.
Sharing Christ, that's my thing, you know. We have the Native people of this country, and they have to be reached.
When he calls you to the mission field, he just gives you this love in your heart for the people he's called you to minister to. They became my family. Jesus, yo shotni, Jesus, yo shotni, Jesus. Just look forward to seeing all of my Indian people in heaven together when the time comes.
So we've got some of the greatest people who blend right in with these unique cultures. They are the most diverse, down-to-heart, realistic people you'll ever meet. They love what they are doing.
We use creative arts, literally for creative evangelism, for unlocking potential, releasing passion.
It may be art, it may be dance, it may be singing ability, it may be playing a musical instrument.
Jim and I have always marched to the beat of a different drummer.
I don't want to be like everybody else. I don't want to look like everybody else. I want to sound like everyone else.
We love Teen Challenge. It's proven 50 years of miracles.
The DNA that Chi Alpha was bringing into the Assemblies of God was totally different. I thought that was very refreshing.
Most college students aren't going to come to our churches, AG or not. They're just not going to come looking for us. Chi Alpha is about building relationships, so whenever a student goes through the worst times of life, which a lot of times they do in their 4 years of college, they're already ready to turn to us.
We started having a calling into the biker ministry. That was been in 1994. Bikers began coming out of the woodwork and wanting to ride with us. They were tired of the drugs, the violence that seemed to be in so much of that culture.
There was more to motorcycle ministries than just riding a motorcycle. It's to be a servant. Can't help but begin to cause them to ask questions. Well, what is this that you have that I don't have?
We need more people, not less, that will respond to the call of God, equipped as a U.S. missionary.
When I think about the work that isn't done, it's hard for me to even not weep. And after 75 years of U.S. missions, our work is far from done.
You are a part of a great team. Happy 75th anniversary to U.S. Missions.
75 years of dedicated ministry has made a difference in America, and we are celebrating that together as AG U.S. Missions.